Hello, my name is Romeo Aleman, and I'm the Learning and Development Manager here at Lime Tree Bay. Change is inevitable. Sometimes it can be positive, such as experiencing business growth or even getting a pay raise. However, as we know, at other times it can be very painful, such as experiencing a personal loss or even losing your job. Often, the hardest changes to understand and adjust to are the ones that are unexpected and out of our control, such as a recession, a global pandemic, or even a natural disaster such as a hurricane. Changes of this magnitude can be difficult to come to terms with, but you often find that your experience of them can be made better or worse depending on your reaction and your attitude. In this training, we will explore the different ways in which people tend to approach change, the reactions that you may have, and how to best cope with it.
People tend to cope with change in one of two ways: escape or control. Escape coping is based on avoidance. You take deliberate action to avoid the difficulties of change. For instance, you might deliberately miss training for a new working process or show up too late to attend a meeting about an upcoming restructure. Maybe you'll trash letters from your HR department about layoffs or ignore calls from coworkers who might not be getting laid off. Some people may even seek refuge in drugs and alcohol. Control coping, on the other hand, is a more positive and proactive approach. You refuse to behave like a victim of change. Instead, you manage your feelings, get support, and do whatever you can to be a part of the change. In reality, most of us respond to major change with a mixture of escape and control coping. But control coping is generally the better option, as it is impossible to avoid the reality of change for long without becoming exhausted or damaging your reputation. Change can be difficult because it can challenge how we think, how we work, the quality of our relationships, and even our physical security or sense of identity. We usually react to change in four stages. Number one, shock and disorientation. Number two, anger and other emotional responses. Number three, coming to terms with the new normal. Number four, acceptance and moving forward. But our progression through these stages is rarely simple or linear. We might get stuck in one stage or advance quickly, but then regress. And there is often no clear cut, decisive move from one stage to another. Shock can change to anger, for example, with no obvious break between the two. Now, let's take a look at the four stages in more detail. Stage 1, shock and disorientation. Experiencing a sudden big change can feel like a physical blow. For example, a global financial crisis may result in significant losses and redundancies. This may sweep away roles and relationships that you have cultivated for years, leading to instability. Or a sudden bereavement or health issue may change your fundamental outlook on life. In the initial stage of coping, you'll likely feel confused and uncertain. Your first priority should be to seek reliable information and to make sense of the situation. Ask for updates from your manager and the HR department. Research other people's similar experiences and talk through your concerns with family and friends. Be sure to distance yourself from gossip and rumors. They are often baseless and negative and will likely cause you more pain and anxiety, not less. Carrying out a SWOT analysis can help you to objectively examine the level of quote unquote threat that you're facing. Are there potential benefits that you've overlooked? Might an enforced change in your job role or employment allow you to learn a valuable new skill or work with new people, for example? You'll likely not reach any firm conclusion at this stage, but try to remain as positive as you can. Stage 2 is anger and other emotional responses. Initial disorientation at the prospect of change usually gives way to a wave of strong emotions. You might be angry about a downgrade of your role or fearful about the impact that a layoff will have on your family. Even when the change in your circumstances is something that you might have initiated yourself, you may find yourself swinging between optimism and pessimism. This is quite natural, and it's a normal step on the way of resolving your situation. It's important to avoid suppressing your emotions, but it's equally key to manage them. So, acknowledge the way you feel, but be sure to assess what you can express openly, such as general comments about a project's progress and what you should probably keep to yourself, such as opinions about a colleague's performance. In time, the Laceris and Folkman transaction model could help you build a dispassionate picture of your situation and how to proceed. Meanwhile, don't be too surprised or embarrassed if you find yourselves in tears at work or overly emotional. This is a natural reaction to the uncertainty and confusion that often follows a sudden change. Stage 3 is coming to terms with the new normal. During this stage, your focus will likely start to shift away from what you've lost towards what's new. This process may be slow and you might be reluctant to acknowledge it, but it's an essential part of coping with change. The key here is to make a commitment to move on. Start to explore more deeply what the change means. Your instinct may be to behave resentfully and to be unwilling to cooperate, but this may cause yourself and others harm. So search for and emphasize the positive aspects of your developing situation. At the same time, be patient. Remember, coming to terms with change is a gradual process. A quick warning, however, it is vital that you avoid pretending that everything is okay if it's not. So, if you find yourself regressing to stage 2, give yourself time to recover. Use affirmations to improve your self confidence and ask for help from friends or a mentor. Stage 4, acceptance and moving forward. This is the stage when you come to fully accept your changed circumstances. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up entirely on your former situation. You'll have valuable memories, skills, and relationships to carry forward. But the point is that you are moving on, whether in your career or in your wider life. During this time, it may be useful to draw up a personal mission statement or a legacy statement to help you stay on track. Additionally, you can set yourself goals and create an action plan to make the most of your new situation. Key points. Changes come in many forms, but leaving behind what we know and are used to is almost always stressful, even if we made the changes ourselves. Coping strategies generally fall into two categories, mainly escape and control. Most people use a mixture of both to cope with change, but control strategies are generally a healthier way to work through change and offer the greatest long-term benefits. We tend to react to change in four main stages. Number one, shock and disorientation. Number two, anger and other emotional responses. Number three, coming to terms with the new normal. Number four, acceptance and moving forward. People are more likely to progress through these stages successfully if they acknowledge their feelings, explore the facts, stay positive, draw on their support networks, and give themselves time to adapt. This concludes the training on coping with change. Please make time to review the job aids and attachments that are provided for this course. Thank you for your time and have a great day.